Hello, welcome to today's Hangout show. This is like the second one of the new year. So excited. And today I've got the amazing My Little Ravikins, as I call her, Rav. I'm really excited today. First of all, apologies. Well, no, I'm not apologizing actually. I'm in my dressing gown, like literally I'm on a pajama day today. Not getting dressed. Yeah, crazy weekend, but really, really, really good. So I'm just exhausted. So I'm staying in my pajamas today. Um, Thanks for coming on the show, Rav.
Oh, thank you.
I know. If anyone doesn't know Rav, I know you might have seen Rav in some of my pictures. You might hear me talk about her. Rav is one of my mastermind sisters and soul sister, and Rav is like literally a guru when it comes to just knowing everything about everything. I'm like, anything, I'm like, Rav, what does this mean? Hiya, Sarah. Good to see you. I'll just hand over for Rav to introduce herself and just tell you all a little bit about her. And if you're watching, like, say hello. We want to know who's with us. And I'll hand over to Rav to say hi.
Oh, thank you ever so much for having me on. It's absolute pleasure to be here with you and your lovely ladies in your group and hanging out with you all. I wouldn't say I'm the guru and I know everything about everything, but I think between the two of us, we tend to get a lot of answers, don't we? Which is good. And, I love the collaboration and like coming together. So for me, I'm currently a coach, so I'm a leadership and success and also a love and relationship coach. So I tend to find people in the space of like leadership and success, or like, they come to me for sort of the love and relationship coaching. So in a previous life, I was also a commercial broker and property broker, and also a financial advisor. So yeah, I've dipped my toe in a lot of little ponds. So yeah, it's good to have like a little bit of background about everything. And now we're on to coaching and being on.
Yeah. And it's like all that background because you've got like you kind of just like, what's the word when you like don't sugarcoat it or something? What's the saying? Basically, like don't play it down. Like you've got a huge background when it comes to like corporate and properties, and you've got like a whole property business, and it's like we've just got so much in common, haven't we? In the sense of like everything when it comes to business and our mindsets and like having like you know what's the word, like multiple like transverse kind of income streams. It's really, really important. And like anyone who knows me knows that like since kind of September last year, I've had like this massive awakening when it comes to just knowing there's more to life than just this and that. Is so much more. Things are not just coincidence. So I've like opened myself up to all this woo, and like literally then September, October is when me and Rav kind of meet through the mastermind. And like Rav knows like everything when it comes to anything, like astronaut, like everything. And it's just like all of that is just kind of like spilling into me, and I'm like learning everything just like with ease. But it's been amazing, hasn't it? It's been like a really, really good journey, like and the connections I find, like the mastermind we're in together at the moment, like every single one of us is so like deeply connected, and it's kind of like everything's a bit spooky but like really, really good.
Yeah, I think me as well. Like I've kind of been on this journey of kind of like I've been in corporate for over 20 years, and then sort of had various different business interests, and that's one of the things that as soon as we met and you were like, oh, I focus on multiple income streams, and I'm like, yes, that's my girl, I love it. Even as a financial advisor, you never put all your eggs into one basket. It's always about diversifying and making sure you've got loads of different things that you're that are generating an income for you, so you've got that safety and security. And so, then I think the thing, and I've had this conversation so many times over this weekend, especially, right? Like, is, people are craving more. Like, you can feel that the energy is just shifting, right? Like, what people wanted, like, even, 6 months, 12 months, like, it's just all switching, it's all changing, and people really want, they want something deeper. They're craving it. They almost don't even know what it is that they want, but there's almost this feeling of there's more, right?
Yeah.
And that more is, when people then start talking about their intuition and how they can bring that into their business and, create more, soul aligned, heart centered businesses. That's what people are craving. It's not how do you create a funnel and how do you create an opt-in page and all these kind of things. They want something deeper, and half of the time people aren't able to really pull that out for themselves. And I don't believe in any coincidences. There's no coincidence that you and I met at the point that we met, and that we're all the ladies in the mastermind are all at the same the same sort of having the same experiences, and we're all kind of from each other. And so, I mean, it's been an incredible, it's been so amazing to witness your journey in just the past few months. So you've kind of gone from, I don't know what's going on, to, like, I mean, literally you were producing magic, right? Like, I mean, I remember just looking at your face and you're like, I don't know what's going on, but this is effing magical. Yeah, absolutely.
What did I say? I said sat in the bed when we were sat in the bedroom, because we shared a bedroom on the weekend where in the hotel, and I sat there and a couple of things just really bizarrely happened. I'd say like, oh, I'm going to have a little research of this now, and I'd literally click on my phone, put one letter in, and the exact thing that I was looking for would pop up, and I'd be like, what the hell? And it happened so many times, didn't it? To the point then, like the third or fourth time it happened, I was like, Rav, I don't know what this is, but it's like I'm turning into a magician, I said. I love it. It's just been so funny.
Yeah, but it's all these synchronicities, and when you open yourself up to, there isn't just a standard way of doing something, when you're kind of getting this pull towards there's something else, that's where you need to go. That's the direction you need to explore. So just open up. And that's the work that I do with individuals. So my company, as you know, is called Luminous Love Lane, and your love lane is basically coming back to the core essence of who you are. And we have so many layers of conditioning, whether it's society, our schooling, parental, cultural, so many layers. And so we're almost kind of going through this process of unlearning, like let's just peel back layer by layer by layer to get back to the core essence of who we are. And we're longing for that. And so when we're getting the feeling of there's something more, that's what it actually is. And, I love the fact that you're opening up and you're exploring and, you're learning more about yourself and how you work and, how connected you actually are. Because honestly, like even now, like I'm getting like little goosebumpy, right?
Yeah. We've been having those in sync, and we all weekend when people have been talking, me and Brav are like, we can see our goose pimples at the same time. It's so funny. Hi, Lisa. It's been fab.
It's really nice to, just be open to that, because it does, like, how much better do you feel? Like just being in flow, right?
Just
like,
so much happier, just so much easier, like relax and just, like, and again, and anyone who knows me, and I know like the girls who are watching now have been working with me for a long time, so they know me well, and they would have known me a couple of years back when I first like got into the whole online space. Like I don't like to say am, because I'm not putting that label on it anymore, but I was such an introverted person to the point like I would be so anxious and ill about going to in-person events, like networking, having to be around people. It made me ill, like physically ill, to the point like I would sit in a room of all these women and I would feel like I would never be like loud and speak out in front of a room full of women. We got up on stage, like, and it didn't even bother me. I was like dancing in front of like, and it's just like this whole new part of my personality that only like a few people get to see, because I've always held myself so like, if you're in kind of thing, but otherwise, but it was like, I was just fully like, yeah, this is me, like, I'm loving it.
You know, like I said, it's just been so incredible to witness your journey, but also, you know, like I know the difference from like just a few months ago. Like what you're saying was just, it was true. You were like, oh, I'd just walk in and I'd just be like, oh, I don't know what to say. I'd be like, I feel really awkward and uncomfortable. And you were absolutely thriving this weekend. Like you could tell, like you were just glowing, right? Like your whole aura, everything about you was just, you were completely in your element. You're completely comfortable with who you are, what you offer, you know, what you bring to the world. And it was this whole connected piece, right? Like you were just like, oh my God, this is happening. And it's opportunity after opportunity. And that's, it's like, it's available for all of us, all of the time. That magic always there on tap if you allow yourself to be in receptive mode. And that's really well. So yeah, like you've started opening up and you're like, yeah, let me just be curious about that. And so many things have happened, like over the months, but just in the weekend alone, it was crazy, right? Like there was just
mind blowing.
And when you think about like what you want to do in this world and how you want to serve, like when you come from that place, wow, like the opportunities that present themselves to you, the people that just land in your way, that you're like, how have I not ever come across you before? But it's because you had your blinkers on and you just need to slowly start opening up the vision of like, right, what are all of those possibilities? So yeah, I absolutely love that. And I like I said, I don't believe in any coincidences. So I always believe the right people at the right time when you're ready to receive them as well. And I think that's important for like your business and life, and just everything that you do is just always do stuff that's really aligned to you. And yeah, it's not that you can't be successful without it. You can, but it's almost like that traditional version of success. Whereas if you
and it's
really
easier, isn't it? It's like the ease.
So effortless. So effortless, isn't it? Like you're just being, right? Rather than trying to be someone, rather than forcing yourself, rather than, like, oh, this feels really icky and sticky. It's like it's a state of being. It's really exciting.
And you know what? I spoke to so many women as well over the weekend. Like many of them were already in this kind of, I use the word woo, you could say spiritual, you could use whatever kind of word. Many of them are already there, but there was so many women there as well who would say they were a bit skeptical, but the one common thing that every single person had in that room was like they were on an opening up their mindset journey. And like, I think, to be honest, that is like the first step in really opening up to like all the possibilities, because that's a journey I've been on for quite some while, is really working on my mindset, really working hard on really opening that up. And it's like something has clicked, and it's like, do you know what? I'm not labeling myself as an introvert anymore. I'm not gonna, keep saying that, I'm shy when I go and see people in person. I'm nervous. It's the people I'm around, it's this and that. Like, when you kind of just sort of snap that and you start telling yourself, no, I do feel good. And we did, didn't we? Like every morning, like there was 1 or 2 mornings because we were up till so late, ridiculous, just talking, even though we kept telling ourselves, right, 10 o'clock curfew tonight. And then it'd be midnight and we'd be like, damn, we passed the curfew again. So we were like, we'd wake up in the mornings when we were out and we'd be so tired. And then we'd be like, I am energized. I feel good. And then all of a sudden you just feel good.
And then we had like some music playing. And I think like all of those things are so important as well, is set your environment up for that as well. So the affirmations, the words that you're telling yourself are so, so, so important.
So powerful.
So powerful. And it's like, you can literally tell yourself and convince yourself in your mind to do anything, right? And there's so many different exercises you can go through to demonstrate this. But like the words that you use and how you're talking to yourself. So positive affirmations. If you're not into affirmations, maybe journal. If you're not into journaling, you can just play a really nice happy song. I mean, like, how buzzed were we? So
yeah, definitely.
music in our room, and it was like great. It was like, yeah, it completely just lifts up the energy.
Yeah.
Like essential oils and candles, just so you can get into like the right state of mind.
Yeah.
You know,
It makes a big difference, doesn't it? Like you can start your day off feeling one way, but you can turn that around. Like at one point I was like saying, didn't I? Because I'd woke up with a bit of a headache and I was like, oh, I'm headachy. And I was like, right, Rav, I feel good. And then she was like, I feel good. And then we put the song on, I know that I win. And before you know, you actually do feel good. It is literally magic. And it's so important to like turn that into lifetime like habits, isn't it? Like daily habits. Every time I catch myself thinking, oh, I feel tired. Oh, I'm telling myself the opposite. I'm like, no, I feel really good. I feel really good. And then all of a sudden I do really feel good.
Yeah.
Lisa says it's really relatable. My word of the year is LAF, love, alignment, and flow. It's the place I'm working from right now. And I think, do you know, the other thing I know you would have noticed as well, Rav, every woman in that room this weekend, the biggest like common theme was the connection, deeper connections, and the alignment, trusting. Like, I don't know, I'm sure like every single woman, when we all got up on stage and said like, what we were letting go of, what we wanted to do more of, I'm sure we all said like trusting in our own sort of feelings and like
such
a lot of people with that.
It's a massive theme because we're so, yeah, it's almost ingrained in us to like give our power away. And actually the most powerful being that is you, right? Like we're all equally powerful, but if you can really trust in your own ability to you know, listen to your own body, listen to, and we were talking about this, right? Like physically you can listen to your own body and it will tell you what you need to do, but you know, in any moment it's kind of letting go of all the what I should do, you know, what I could do. It's like, what do I want to do right now? And you were a perfect example of this. One of the mornings you were like, you've been doing really well. You've been doing like workouts in the morning and you were like, oh, you know what? I'm not feeling it today. And it was like, we just did some like yoga stretches or something on the bed. It was like, yeah, like we literally were lying on our own beds and we were like doing these like little stretches, like just nice, gentle movement. Times you just need that, right? Like you could have sat there and gone, oh, I feel really bad, I didn't do, you know, I think you did end up doing it in the end, didn't you? Because
I think I did, yeah. It was just doing the little yoga stretches, like made me feel like, yeah, I'm going to do it actually.
Right, exactly. But you know, if you didn't, it's kind of again that mindset shift of what you should be doing versus just really honoring how you're feeling, really honoring what's coming up for you. You know, the amount of times that I heard again over this weekend, and I hear my clients say it as well, is, you know, this thing just keeps coming back to me. Like I keep circling back around and it's like, why are you ignoring it? It's kind of going, burp, 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 you know, like ignoring it. Just listen to what are those things. Sit with it for a little while. What, you know, why are you coming up for me? What do you want me to know? What is it that I'm missing here? What, you know, what other opportunities could come to me if I was open to this? And like you've done exactly that, right? And it's just been absolutely magical for you.
Yeah,
so,
it has, like really magical. Like I've never ever been to an event where I feel like I already knew, like as if I was there with a 20 odd women that I already knew, like all of them, because I was so open to just receiving those connections, to the point where I even had people like coming up to me, like one of the women caught me by the tail in like in the restaurant. She was like, Beth, isn't it? And I was like, yeah. And she was like, we haven't spoke yet, but she said, I really want to speak with you. And I was like, yeah. And it was just like so much. I just opened myself up, said, right, I want to connect. Like I want deeper connections with like-minded women. I want to like really follow my feelings. And I've never been in a situation like that or to an event where I literally felt like there wasn't a person in that room which I wasn't connected to. It was so like bizarre in the most amazing way. But yeah, it was amazing. It really, really was. And it's like all the things I've avoided, the in-person stuff, is all the things that I've really avoided in my business. At one point, I think Kirsty had on the screen, didn't she? So this is the lady that hosted it all. So she had on the screen all the different ways you can like, you know, do things in in your kind of coaching business type of thing. And there was like online stuff, courses, retreats, went to all these different things. And there was one there for like events. And out of all of them, I've got all of them going on in my businesses. And the one that is just not there is events, which is like, obviously, because it's in-person stuff, is the thing I've always avoided. And I sat there thinking the one and only thing on all our list is the thing that I'm just feeling the most like amazing feeling from, which has got me considering like all kinds of things for the future. It's just really, really exciting to like really open those doors, isn't it, to like all the possibilities. Just feels so good.
And I think you have to go a journey of knowing what you don't want to know what you do want. And so like now that you've opened up to the possibility of events and in-person events, and you've kind of said to your brain, no, I'm not the introvert. I'm not the person that goes in the room and is really shy or sits up in there whilst everyone goes out to dinner. I'm there, I'm front and center. It's a state of being, and that's such a massive shift. And when you do turn into that, and the thing is with introverts and extroverts, again, it's not that you have to do in person, it's what aligns with you. It's your business, your rules. You get to do it the way that you want to do it, right? And so you can be an introvert and run an in-person event and just in a way that feels you don't have to be on stage speaking all the time. You could focus it on smaller like interactive
definitely
breakout type exercises and things like that. So again, it's just really understanding who you are at the core of like what really lights you up, and clearly, like I said, you were glowing this weekend. So what really lights you up, and just doing more of that. It's like in schools we're taught, we don't kind of get a pat on the back to go, oh well done, you did really well in art, for example, and and there's this thing over here. In fact, my client was giving me this example. She was like, oh, you can be really good at something in school, but you're not encouraged to do more of what you're really good at.
What you're good at.
You're kind of like, oh, you're rubbish at math, go and work on your math,
or work more on that.
So we have to get better at things that we don't naturally like, whereas actually what we need to do is just stay in our zone of genius and just really and breathe into that and just do more of what excites us and
what excites you. And do you know what, like this kind of pulls into like the whole home educating system, like with Aria and Caddy when she's a bit older as well. Oh my god, Beth, you'd be amazing on stage. Do you know what, I'll take that. I would. Again, like something I would have been like about before, but no, you've got to like really take that and be like, I think I would be amazing on stage. And it's like, I do actually feel like I would now. It is like, and that's it. When you keep like, it's like that book I read, what was it called? I can't remember now, but it's like really like thoughts become things. And that's so true. Like thoughts really do become things. And even if you don't feel that, like at the beginning when you're thinking it, if you keep like thinking it and thinking it and thinking it, it will become a feeling and you will really feel it. And it's so true. I will. I'm going to do it, Elise. You're going to see me on stage one day. I promise.
Absolutely.
It's like with the home ed system, it's like you don't, the whole concept of it is you don't force children to do subjects that they don't enjoy. And it's about being completely open to like, if there's a certain subject that they love and really lights them up, like bring all the other like things that they need to learn and need to know, like let's say for example maths, English, like different languages, whatever it is, like the basic things in life that you need, you can really like learn those from one core subject. Like you don't need to just sort of focus on, right, we're doing mathematics today. You can learn maths in any kind of aspect of life. Like, do you get what I mean? And it's about really, really like being open to that, seeing how your child loves to learn and applying that. And it goes in like the same concept of life, isn't it? If there's something you love doing, do more of that thing. Like, because we are all individual, and I think we are conditioned to like be like robots almost. Like you've got to like
And when you really get into it, it's scary how robotic we're kind of conditioned to be. And so this is where I was talking about that unlearning process of like peeling back all of those layers of conditioning, and everything does come back to the mind. The belief system that you have. So, when you look out into your reality, whether it's a reality that you love or whether it's a reality that you're actually like, oh, I'm not too keen on this, what you have to be able to do is reverse engineer that process, because your beliefs are connected to your emotions. You act from a place of emotion, and when you act, that's creating your reality. So in order to flip that around, you have to be able to reverse engineer it and understand what that core belief is. Switch that belief. So yeah, and like you said, you've got like so many examples for yourself where that that to be true. Like that if you switch up the belief, that everything else then sort of has a snowball effect and changes.
It really, really does.
So powerful.
It really does. It does.
Yeah.
And
sorry.
Go on.
The whole home education piece as well, because now Ari is in a position where, she's not going to have to go through so much unlearning, right? She doesn't have to get adulthood and start unlearning all of the conditioning and the programming and, all the things that we as adults are having to do because we went through that process.
That makes me so emotional. I can even feel my eyes filling up just even hearing that, because it's so true. And that's something that is really lights me up, the thought of just allowing her to pave her own path instead of the kind of path I took. Whereas, I'm grateful for every single moment of my life. I'm grateful for every part, as dark as it could have got. I'm still grateful for every experience, because that's my journey, that's my path. But at the same time, it's knowing that Aria's path can kind of just, she can be on that path, I can set her along that path that she wants to be on without all the resisting, without the friction, do you know what I mean? It's it's just...
Yeah, it's really exciting. I'll speak to you separately about this, but the lady that I was speaking to this morning, that's her whole thing now, is she really wants to help people. Well, she is helping women empower themselves, so that they are then able to then pass that onto their children. But she's gonna in the process of creating this additional program which helps parents to recognize characteristics and traits in their children, and goes as far as obviously it depends on where you're at on the scale, but recognizing, are they a starseed child, are they someone that's here with their own soul path and a big mission, and helping them along their journey as well. So yeah, I'm really excited about that. And
it's fab. It's really exciting because it's just really made me so open, and my academy, this year, there's so many ideas that I've got to just really take things to bigger levels by adding and bringing in even more. I just know you're coming in there at some point this year, Rav, and it's just figuring out, well, not figuring out, because we're not thinking, we're receiving and just going with the flow, what feels right. But it's going to come to us. We don't know what it's going to be yet, because literally there is so much you could give, so much value. There is so much that I know my academy girls would be they would really, really benefit from hearing. So it's just seeing where that goes. But definitely, and even to the point where I'm thinking of possibly, I'm not thinking, I'm receiving anything around when it comes to our children as well, because that's one of my core values, is family and our children. They're our future at the end of the day. So even I'm open to possibly even bringing more in the sense of that with the academy this year as well. It is really exciting, Lisa. We'll have to have a chat about this, because you guys are obviously in there as well. So I'd love to hear your kind of feedback on this, to see what would really be useful to you guys. So it's just fab, isn't it? It's amazing to think that we can have that knock-on effect and what that can do, because that's what it's all about, isn't it? It's just kind of having that openness and you know, being able to pass it on to someone else, and then it just has that knock-on effect, and then they could pass it on to someone else, and then it's just, yeah, it's really, really good to think that we are literally changing the world in little tiny baby steps.
Absolutely. It's just like moving the needle ever so slightly, and it is a ripple effect, right? Like you said, it's like what happens here and then it just continues. But for me, you know, just adding on to what you've just said, I think like that whole collaboration piece is just so important. Like that's one of the key things. Like I love connection. That's one of my core values. So I love connection, and that's what I want to be doing, is just collaborating with more and more women, you know, individuals, just anyone that feels aligned, right? Like some open to come in. And yeah, I think there's so many opportunities there, and there's so many people craving the, you know, almost like a similar thing, but there's a different way of doing it. And so like bringing all those people together, like just before we started, I said I want to introduce you to someone because I think, you know, it'd be a great connection. Yeah, I just think this year is just going to be incredible. It's going to be very pivotal.
It is. I'm really excited to see like where things pull us to, where we're like led. I can't wait. Really exciting. Okay, so thank you everyone for watching, and for anyone on the replay, just any questions, pop them in. I might not answer them straight away, but I will come back at some point and answer them. What I'll also do for anyone who wants to find Rav and connect with Rav, I will tag you in all the places, because this is literally like it's streamed in a few places and then it's like repurposed. My VA puts it everywhere else. So I'll tag you in the places so that you can come in and pop any links or like ways for people to come and find you if they want to come and find you. So thank you again, everyone, for watching. And thank you so much, Rav, for coming on. Catch you again.